over to watch.
Oh, I need to post it on. The content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. Okay.
It's saying that because it's on YouTube,
Right.
but now it's actually live. So now we just gotta wait for some people to get here, but I have to post this into Patreon, so give me 1 second.
Can you also send me the link via the WhatsApp so that I can post it on Sister Talk?
To the video?
Yeah, the live. Mhm.
Yeah, I'll do that in just 1 second. Let me put this on Patreon.
Yeah, no rush.
I mean, they gonna know anyway.
All right.
All right. Because I told them that Fridays are YouTube days and that we're gonna do a sister talk. Hey, you guys coming in?
Hey, everyone.
Bell B.
I feel like I should have my laptop so I can say hi to people and read the comments. I'm gonna jump up and grab it.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me to pull it up on my tablet.
Right. Okay.
So that I can look at the chat box for when we going over stuff, because I'm gonna be sharing the link. I'm gonna be sharing the screen. Okay. Hey, Tam Leo. Oh, Tam Leo, how come you weren't a moderator? I need to hold on for a second. Hold on for 1 second.
Because we need our mods to be modding.
We do. That's why I'm redoing it, because I need Tam Leo to be a moderator. Who else am I gonna make a moderator?
Okay.
Here's be a moderator. Jules, be a moderator. I thought I added moderators to this channel. 1-800 find my bandit. Y'all are like killing me with this, like for real. Here we go for saying so. Hey, Divine. Hey, Moni Jones. Okay. All right, because we're gonna get into. So we're gonna hey y'all are here. Sorry about that. I wanted to mod up some people just to get it started. Y'all know that on Fridays is the YouTube days, but I just haven't. Hey, Maxita Brown, and on my own journey. Hey Timmy, I haven't been going live on YouTube on Fridays. Y'all know why. Generally, I like the peace and quiet and anti-trolliness of Patreon. But we are here, so we're gonna come here with a sister talk, and we're going to weigh in on this Diddy situation. Y'all know bandits never take a break from their reign of terrorism, so they're still running amok. And then we're gonna talk about this North Carolina governor and some other topics as well, because everybody getting exposed. So I'm gonna talk about the shits and gigs thing. I haven't talked about it yet, but I am going to. We will probably talk about it briefly here to the extent that we can. Hey, Sister Lovely K, informally known as, have I heard about Ray J? What about him? Him recording that video trying to get his calm his kids down after he was seemingly putting hands on Princess Love. Let me see if this is what y'all talking about, because I got that in here, so we actually can talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But hold on, I got to show y'all something. Never mind me, I'm just being a little troll for right now. But look at this. Tell me why the childishness in me died laughing when I saw this. Imagine you go to the zoo and you think you about to see some
Oh,
panda bears,
wow.
and instead they sitting up here. Like, this is with some painted dogs.
I love it. I want one. It's cute. They
I literally cannot stand them. Like, it's just like, this is in China. Okay, it says a zoo in China has confessed that the animals they were showing as pandas were actually painted dogs. Per the Independent, visitors at the Shanwei Zoo figured it out when the so-called pandas started barking and panting. Where are the pandas in China?
Right, that they
Because
can
pandas are originally from China.
Japan, I heard that.
No, they said this says they're originally from China
Oh,
and a
wow.
well-known symbol of the country.
Oh, they ate them all?
What?
They eat animals that aren't just like cows and stuff and
Yeah,
chickens.
so I don't know about nobody eating them. To be honest, I don't know about them eating them, but I was actually gonna say where are the where are they at? The panda bears.
Where is this video? I can't find us as usual.
Let me get the link. I can't either. It doesn't. It's because I don't use the channel, so it's really not in the algorithm.
Right.
Because I don't really use it that often.
What did you name it?
Elevated consciousness is what it's called. But give me a second. I'm about to get the link because I need to distribute it too, actually. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. Maybe not the link, but a screenshot. But I needed to pull up the link anyway because I have to pull it up on my phone so I can see the chat box. I'm about to there we go. All right, so now I'll text it to you. All right, you guys, we really are gonna get started. Just give me a second here.
Yeah, calm down. Like, don't rush.
Oh, you know, I should have used StreamYard and I should have simulcasted on my other channel too.
That was an option.
Yeah, because we
Oh,
could have
okay.
we could have did it on 3 channels actually. We could have did it on the actual Sister Talk channel too.
Is there any way you could actually put it in the
Sister Talk?
Yes, and the reason being is because I'm on the phone that I would need to use to do the other stuff, and that tends to mess stuff up.
All right, there you go. I'm gonna send it to B just in case she might want to jump on.
V?
Yeah. And if y'all lovely subbies in the chat, if you want to share the link to the live stream, you can do so as well.
Yep, there he is. Okay, let me see how I can share this to this.
I'm gonna try to see how I can get this on to all right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably not supposed to take them from the wild anymore. It's these painted dogs for me.
I love it.
Then look at this. Okay, like right now we just kind of copying off of Themis' theme where he does a pre-show of kind of like weirdo topics before you get into the actual show. So y'all never bear with me, please. These are some things that I'm just gonna be petty about. Look at this. Didn't I tell y'all that this dude didn't I just tell y'all just the other day that this dude is gonna keep doing this and putting out these so-called failed attack attempts on him? Like, ain't no president getting assassination attempts
It's like every other day.
every other month, this dude coming out. So it's saying Donald Trump faces another security scare ahead of Long Island rally. This is a man who has a bunch of paper crimes, i.e. fraud. So we know he's not above lying and orchestrating a situation
Say
to
that.
make it appear that he's a victim of something. I don't believe for 1 second that anybody is sitting up here wasting time trying to fail at assassinating Donald Trump. I just don't believe it. I don't know if y'all believe it. I didn't believe the first one. I don't believe the second one. And I damn sure don't believe this one.
Right? Lying
Yeah,
bastard.
Temus and Temus and Thoughts said predictable fool. Listen, don't let me find out that you a trolling bandit, because what we gonna do is we just go ignore y'all's cries for attention. We do know that trolls come in here because they want attention, so don't block them unless they're spamming the chat box with inappropriate words. Block them if they do that. Otherwise, just completely ignore them. Trolls come for attention, starve them out. That's how we go deal with trolls.
Right.
And I'm not necessarily saying that that person whose name I called out was a troll. I'm not necessarily saying you are a troll, but I do know when you're public on YouTube, you tend to deal with trolls. We're not having that today. So I just want the bandits to understand that we not doing it. No, that's why I said I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm not talking about you in particular. Hey Jay, how are you? Y'all, I forgot to put a nail on, but y'all tell me, do y'all think Donald Trump, like, really? Mike, Ella, do you Onyx, look, do you see this?
I said the first time, number one, with his first attack, you normally anyone who is being shot at, or someone who is experiencing an attack of any kind, when they don't know where that's coming from, certainly if bullets are being involved, you're not going to like come out and bring out one of your limbs and start bringing your fist out if you don't know where the bullets are coming from or how many people are shooting. You just aren't going to do that. And I feel like this is just like not only an attention grab, but I feel like it's strategic enough to be like, I don't know if it's whether he's trying to get a sympathy vote or the I'm so powerful vote, because look, people are coming at me from all directions and I'm just surviving and I'm still powerful and I'm still, I'm unconquered. So I feel like he's just trying to present as stronger because he has another candidate who isn't all frail, because he was really going for the Biden is weak. Biden is, he's unsuitable because he's weak. And now he has another candidate who's looking strong. So in order for him to appear more strong, it's like what? He's undefeatable. Like, even bullets can't stop this guy.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what he's going for with this. And again, it puts attention on him in a spot where he is weak, because he just had a debate where he's coming out looking very deranged himself with some of the things he said. And normally he's taking shots at Biden for saying something outlandish, and now he's the one being mocked for saying things that are outlandish. So he has to appear strong in some other way, and that's like, physically I'm strong because right now I'm being mocked for being mentally weak and foolish. That's just my take on it.
I criminal.
absolutely agree. I 100% agree. I do think he's doing that. I think he's orchestrating it. Divine one said he's giving the boy who cried wolf. He absolutely is. Donald Trump, you and your comb over need to go to jail already. Like, don't you have like a sentence that you need to report to at some point? Like, I really want Donald Trump to go serve his time. Rather than around trying to convince people that he's a target of anything except for his own stupidity. Like, I don't have time for Donald Trump.
And it just, I mean, the one thing that happens a lot in the States is gun violence. So you're telling me people who
Right.
people who come out of the womb getting a gun if they want to, and obviously there's satire here, but we don't really, like, there's missed shots and he's like really just is untouchable, and he's
No,
been shot at,
so
and
close, but just snipped his ear, just a
yeah.
snippet of his ear because he's just that untouchable.
I
He's
don't
just
like
that
it.
stealth. He's just a ninja with it. Like he has bullet fast reflexes,
And I
and he
don't
just
doubt that.
dodged that real quick. Can't touch him.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't doubt that people want him unalived. Like there is going to be people, but the same is going to go for any political candidate who wants to, have such a position of power. You're going to have people who don't want you there, and that opposition is going to exist. And I'm pretty sure there are people who are like doing the same with Camilla. But the fact that we are sitting here and looking at another failed attempt of an assassination for Donald Trump, and if we look at like what happened before then, like we're really just talking about some fictitious event that happened to stop us from looking at the fact that he is a criminal and he's fraudulent and
Supposed to be
he
in
does
jail right
not
now.
qualify to be a president. And then I think it's like if you just look at even his talking points are quite annoying. Like they're talking about how she was she's didn't do all this and she was the vice president. You were actually a president for how many years? And like we could talk about what you didn't do as well. Like
He
we are
tried
where
to
we
talk
are.
about the fact that she's supposedly black. And it's like, what does that have to do with anything?
But the thing is that's a smart tactic. I think that's a smart tactic in that he knows that people are
Racist?
not racially charged, right? So you can actually have any kind of conversation. If he talks about hair or race, those are things that's going to get people fired up more so than how the country is ran. And is unfortunate, but it's true. Like more people will talk about her race than they will talk about policies. So with that, I think it is kind of small and stupid, but that's the things that will get people all fired up.
Well,
and talking about something stupid rather than something
she's sticking to the topic. She's sticking to the what she's going to do, and shining light on the fact that he's supposed to be in jail. Like,
right.
You're just like, bro, you're a felon.
But I think it's concerning that the polls are it's really to me concerning. It says a lot about society that he's even on, where there is even a balance sort of in terms of what they're looking at on the polls. Like there should be like a tomato can should be able to go against him and win. But the fact that there are marginal levels of like him being even in comparison to her numbers, and it's just concerning to me. It says a lot
about the state of the people
right here
in America.
Yeah. Look at this comment right here, though. So the Remedio that he's catering to is definitely getting whatever message. Because look at this. They wouldn't be trying to take him out unless he was ahead. How naive are you as a bandit to actually think that this is really going on?
But there's a lot of people who are that stupid. That's to my point. Donald Trump represents a lot of people who are idiots there, and that's why I would be surprised actually if he didn't win, and that's the truth. And I'm saying that because of where you see the poll numbers are right now, and I say that because if you look at the comments that people make, and I say that the fact that he was a president before, and I say that because even the fact that he literally has a record of sexual offenses. He can't vote himself because he's a felon. There's so many reasons, but people will still.
So Donald Trump doesn't have a record of sexual offenses. He has what Donald Trump was convicted was paper crimes.
No, but I can stop you right there. He had a civil lawsuit against him.
Yes, because there was a porn star that he had an affair with, and he paid her $130,000 or offered to pay her $130,000.
I'm not talking about the porn
star. That's barely anything.
I'm not talking about people lie. No, he paid her to lie for him.
And I'm not talking about
having an affair with her.
I'm gonna look up the other case because I'm talking about a 12-year-old civil of a civil lawsuit that was settled. So I'm not talking about the one that that came out when he first ran, when he was talking about grabbing everybody's genitalia and things like that. That along with, and remember there was other women who said, yeah, he done this and he done this, and they were like, we don't care because that just makes him. He was doing locker talk. there are civil lawsuits against him. And a lot of those came out and then they just
Look, Onyx,
disappeared.
when
And that was
you
the first
started
time around.
talking, Onyx, when you started talking, Jasper got up to try to get on the computer. It's like, Jasper,
Aw,
He
I am,
misses her.
yeah, he
but
wants
yeah.
some rubs and some cuddles, so he came listening to cuddles.
He said he had something to say too. He's like, on that note,
Look at how big
it
he
was because
Look at how
he had
big
said,
he got.
I think I misquoted Trump when I
He
said genitalia. He was like, no, he didn't say that. He said,
Right by the bussy.
yeah.
He's
So
big, ain't he? Like, look at him. Ain't he big now?
Yeah.
I
Wow.
didn't say he was your baby, but I just know that you have
He's a
a
big
clear
boy.
preference for him over the other cats.
I know. I didn't think I would either, but he's such a little sweetheart. He really is.
I mean,
he hissed at me the other day because he was feeling himself a little too much. I told you I let him run amok, so he climbed some trees, and all of a sudden he wanted to punk all the other cats in the house and hiss at me, and he was just feeling
It
himself.
was like, yeah.
he was like, I'm a jungle warrior right now.
Yeah, he think because
Climb one tree.
they said they neutered him, but I'm telling you, like, they didn't really neuter him.
They didn't do the whole thing. They left a piece.
Yeah, because his little pink thing was coming out the other day. He still has balls. He shouldn't have balls. I think.
I was like, I paid for these to be removed.
No, I didn't pay. When they do it automatically at the Humane Society. They do it. They supposedly do it automatically, and they spay the females and neuter the males. But they left some with Jasper. Tribal said she can't see Jasper. He's just right here. He's sleepy. He wants me to rub him while he goes to sleep because he just got from outside. V probably brought him in. I think V opened the door and put him in the house. He was probably crying on her porch, which is what he does. Yeah, when he wants to go and but he likes being over at her house, but she probably just opened the door and put him in here.
Yeah.
But so let's get into this Diddy stuff because I know y'all haven't been really following it that much. Obviously, y'all would have heard of it, but I don't think y'all really.
I'm not following it, but
so let me ask y'all something because I know that when we were younger, like I remember when I was in high school, and in the as early as the 2000s, I was hearing about Diddy's violence, about the fact that he exploits his artists, that he was supposed to be beating on Kim Porter. There were rumors around that he had orchestrated not just Tupac's toe tagging, but Biggie's toe tagging too. So to me, there's always been rumors out about Diddy and his violence and the terrible ways in which he acted. We know that about the shooting at the club where the woman was shot in the face when he was with J-Lo and then Shine had to go to prison for it. There's been artists of his that turned up toe tagged. Some of them turned up in jail. Like there's been a long-standing rumor like this curse of Diddy.
Yeah, he's out in the streets.
Working with him, huh?
Yeah, he has a long. We'll call it his street cred is long.
Right.
His record there.
For being violent and volatile and
but also for being very strategic and intelligent in his way of manipulating people and getting his way.
Right. So Diddy was obviously arrested. We see that because they just released the arrest video yesterday. So we'll go over that and then I'll let y'all hear this little 10-minute clip of the press conference while they're describing everything that they found. When we're going over, I want y'all to keep this in your mind. While you listening to that video, keep it in your mind that in addition to the 1,000 bottles of baby oil that they found, they also found nearly 800 dildos too.
He was obviously thoroughly equipped for these parties.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't believe that. I believe they're just saying that for, shock effect.
no,
Well, why?
this
I
is
don't
the
think so.
FBI. This is the FBI. Homeland Security raided his homes, all of
I
them.
I would totally
And they
believe
were
that
just
because
counting. They was like, look at these, all these baby oil. This is like 1,000. This is more than
Yeah,
1,000.
yeah,
This is
they
like
did. You'll hear it. You'll hear it in the press conference. But
okay.
Diddy got arrested. He's been denied bail twice. Two different judges denied him bail. They put together a bail package of like $50 million. He said he wouldn't be around women. He would surrender the passport of everybody in his family, including the 1-year-old baby. He even made another bail proposal saying he won't be around women. He'll get drug tested. Yada yada yada. I don't think they proposed him being on house arrest, although maybe that's something his attorney should have asked for, house arrest. I don't know if they
For
if he
Diddy?
did. Yeah, for Diddy, because
Yeah,
now he's sitting up in prison. Actually,
right.
a bad
Even
jail.
if they propose it, they're not going to give it to him because they know that he has too many means. He has way too much resources. There's no way that he's going to stay put, which is very weird to
I
me
don't
that
know.
he was here.
I disagree. I disagree because you're talking about a very powerful and influential person. Money speaks, and I assure you, some of the people in that courthouse have been to his parties. So I would question whether or not he would be able to pull off house arrest or something like that, just because of by way of his connections, unless they really are like there's more to it in terms of because everybody who's anybody know this was going on for a long time.
Right.
Like,
Well, the thing is, what I think is going to happen is, remember how he was sitting there on that porch or stoop or whatever behind that, in front of that statue with his daughter on his lap, naming a list of a whole bunch of people. What was that list about? They are going to unalive him or say he committed did the same thing as Epstein, and he's gonna be chilling with Epstein on their little newest raper.
and that just makes me wonder, like, who is it that he really upset because all this was already out or what? And I did say
right, all of these all of these allegations were already out. That's why I'm
well
saying
known.
a lot
Yeah.
of people defending him, saying that this is a conspiracy to take down a good black man. I don't know how Diddy went from having the rumor of being basically like Ike reincarnated and a terrorist among the black community. I don't know how he went from being that to a good black man.
I would love to see one example of him being a good black man. Like, what about him is good? They can say he's a black man, but good has nothing to do with him.
Yeah, no,
They
he's
need money.
he's not a good black man.
He's a wealthy,
it is what it
black
is.
man. Right.
But that was what you just saw was the arrest video. So they just put out the footage that we're showing him being arrested by the federal agents. And so that was the one. Since you guys didn't hear the press conference, let me put this on here. And let me know if it sounds low to you. And if it does sound low, I'm gonna speed up him talking a little bit, but you'll still be able to hear what he's saying. But let me know if it's low and I'll put it on the speaker. So hold on for a second. Bose is apparently kind of like Apple, so you have to like download their app to connect to it. I don't know if I have to do that to the computer or I had to do that to my phone. So I'll just use the other speaker if I need to.
Oh, he's cute. Look at Sean. Oh no, that's not Sean. He's talking about
this
Sean.
is Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney.
Yeah, he's cute. What you doing?
So let me speed this up just a little bit.
No, he's not.
No, to you he's not, sir.
In the indictment to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy.
Hey, hold on.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs. and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced.
If you want me to pause it, let me know.
Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches.
So look at these guns that they
That's proof.
got.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced.
Now,
Is
that
he retarded?
Yeah,
Like, why would that stuff still be at his house?
right, this right here, because people are in comments saying, oh, well, watch when he beats the case. This right here, this gun with the serial number scraped off, he ain't gonna beat this case with this gun with the serial number scraped off. That's you're not beating that. New York don't play about with gun charges. They really don't. And so it's like even if they dismiss everything else, which they wouldn't dismiss these illegal weapons with the serial number scraped off of them. They wouldn't do that.
But they weren't in his possession. They were in his house. He wasn't even.
Yeah, they were in his home.
Right, and he wasn't even at his house, so he could just pin them on somebody else.
Diddy ain't gonna convince a soul on this planet that somebody done snuck into his highly secured home and planted some guns in there with the serial number scraped off. Okay, like
He'll probably have one of his security guards say it was theirs.
Well, if he do, but I mean, they was in your possession because they was in your home, so.
Right.
The 2 AR-15s right there.
Yeah, Divine, they do. They have a
Yeah.
very, I think it's 96%
This office is trained to
conviction
investigate and
rate.
prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4-HSI-HIT.
HSI hit. I
Wanna
wanted
express
to
my
say,
deep appreciation for the
protect your booty.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here because he's just thanking people, but that's the gist of what he's being charged with. Now I want to get to some of these updates because they've really uncovered like excuse me, a ton of stuff. I'm trying to get out of full screen. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get out of full screen. I don't know why it was I don't know why it was still on there, but in any event, there's just a lot that's been going on with this. That there's been a lot of people who has been defending Diddy, pretending like they don't understand why he was arrested. They don't understand what he did wrong. Some people are saying all he was doing is being nasty and freaky, and why is Donald Trump not in jail? Again, what Donald Trump was convicted of,
Right.
Donald Trump was convicted of paper crimes, meaning fraud, falsifying documents, asking somebody to lie and say that he didn't. Now, there may have
White
been
collar crimes.
Yeah, basically. And listen, I don't know whether or not there was an allegation of inappropriate behavior toward the 12-year-old. I wouldn't put it past him. At the end of the day, Donald Trump is a man of no color. So I think we already know what the profile is for essay victimizers. And I think he fit that profile. But what I do know is, even if it was an allegation, he wasn't taken to trial for it. He wasn't convicted for it. That is not what he was convicted for.
Right.
I looked up what he was convicted of because people keep comparing this to Donald Trump. And this is not comparable to what Donald Trump was convicted of. Yes, he has 34 felonies. All of them are for fraud.
It's more comparable to R. Kelly.
Yeah, Diddy is more, exactly. Diddy is more comparable to R. Kelly, not Donald Trump. There is no sex crimes that Donald Trump was convicted of. None of the 34 felonies involve sex trafficking. It didn't involve rape. It didn't involve any of those things. So I don't know. I just don't understand why people are comparing this to Donald Trump, except for the fact that I guess the crimes that both of them engaged in are felonies, although they're completely different. But in any event, there were rumors out that Diddy was on suicide watch because of the prison that he's in. It's just not a good one. It's a horrible jail in there. Coincidentally, they said it's actually right down the street from that cheesecake place that he made his Making the Band people walk to. Is right down the street from that. So people were saying that he was on suicide watch, but Diddy's lawyer is coming out and saying that he's not suicidal.
Right.
It says, so let me read it. It says, according to what his lawyer, Mark Agnifilio, told TMZ, he's not suicidal. He says that Diddy was being placed on the watch was simply just a routine measure sanctioned by the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center for high-profile inmates. He said Diddy is not suicidal at all, and he even spent several hours with him in lockup. From his point of view, Diddy is currently strong, healthy, confident, and focused on his defense. I don't think Diddy has a defense for this. I don't know what their attorney's defense is. I know that the prosecutors have been squashing every lie that his defense attorney comes and puts out. So I just don't think that, look, this person said that nigga going under. Like, for real, he is. No, he is though. Bottom line is Diddy is exactly where he needs to be. Diddy is exactly where he needs to be. And I'm
Yep.
just wanting people to stop acting like this is just like a grave misjustice. And it's like, no, it's not. Diddy has many victims. Diddy has victimized many people. I don't care if they say this was a long time ago. Apparently, the FBI doesn't feel like it was that long ago, or else they wouldn't be prosecuting them.
Yeah, there's statutes of limitation, but Diddy has more victims than just from these SEX acts. So he has victims from intimidation, stealing his performers' money. He's been raping the men. Like not just women, men as well, which is demoralizing. And it has to be excruciatingly painful. Like he's a terrorist. He's literally a terrorist.
Yeah.
And he's been getting away with it for years. And he thinks he's God. Like he literally thinks he's untouchable because of the fact that he's been terrorizing so many people and literally unaliving them. Like there's allegations that he allegedly unalived several people that were in his industry, that were on his had contracts with him to try to make money, and he stole their money and then he just offs them.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what they say.
Right.
Biggie, because they said Biggie was actually about to part ways with Diddy.
Right.
And
he's like, oh no, you're not.
Yep, they said that was Diddy's motive for toe tagging him. But it's like some more text messages came out, because we already saw there was a text message that he had sent to Cassie directly after he was beating on her in a hotel room. Basically, what the text messages said was that, he was basically begging and pleading with Cassie because the police were surrounding him, and he was worried about going to jail. So he started talking about people abandoning him, and he got 6 kids. The woe is me story, basically.
Right.
There's another woman that the U.S. attorney posted some text messages that was sent to Diddy by yet another victim. Mind you, this is supposed to be after Cassie had already put out her lawsuit describing what Diddy did to her. Then we saw that video of Diddy actually doing it to her. So this is from another woman, another potential victim. So let's get into these text messages. It says, the text reportedly read, 1, I turn my head for a second and you get effed up and you drag me down the hall by my hair. I have bleeding cuts. You hit me in the head 2 good times. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. So this is, then the other one
that
said,
was her saying that?
Huh?
That was her saying that?
Yeah, that was a woman that he abused. Then
Wow.
It says, 3 days after Cassie sued, another woman allegedly texted and said, I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma. It makes me sick how 3 solid pages, word for word, is exactly my experiences and my anguish.
Wow.
But they're trying to say that the FBI doesn't have evidence of Diddy doing any of these things. These are women texting Diddy about him abusing them.
And that's the really sad thing here, because whenever there's a situation like this, and I say with the situation with Cassidy, because when I saw that, I said, you're going to see a lot of women come forward now because this has come to light. And it's such a stigma of shame. It's not easy for a woman to come forward with these type of allegations when it comes to somebody like that, just in general. But we have somebody who is very famous and very well known. It's not going to be easy to just be like, this has happened to me and this person's done it, because it comes with a lot of criticism too.
Especially the fear, obviously.
But for someone to say that the police wouldn't have a lot of evidence, somebody like like this, and I'm like Diddy or whoever he wants to call himself. He's done stuff like this for a very long time. And when you get bold-faced about it, he's not deleting comments. He's been doing this for ages, so he's comfortable. So there's going to be a lot of evidence about the contact there. And then plus you have to think about this. We are in AI right now. The technology is really easy to get years and years and years of data. So no, believe me, they have a lot of evidence, and the reason why they're just bringing about you're going to see a lot of evidence. You're going to see a lot of messages, and the thing is, all the women who and girls and boys who were victims of this probably don't want to be known, probably don't want to have
Exactly.
their correspondences out, and because there is a lot of shame that comes with what happened here, even if they were participating in it when it was going on, willingly or unwillingly, there's going to be a lot of shame of having the world see that they were a part of something like this.
Onyx, your mic is a little garbly. Thank you, Themis, for letting us know. Your mic is a little bit garbly.
Oh, okay. I'll see what I can do, but I'm at 78 on my volume.
It's probably the Wi-Fi.
It could be.
It could be, or it could be Zoom itself too. But look, this is the text that Diddy sent to Cassie right after he assaulted her.
Right.
And it said, "Call me, the cops are here. I got 6 kids. Yo, please call. I am surrounded. You gonna abandon me all alone."
Sounds like he has 6 kids with him. That sounds very long to me.
No, with me, I would have been like, "Listen, demonic entity, I'm the star witness for the prosecution, okay?"
Right.
Because oftentimes he's doing that because he knows there's an emotional connection there.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, too often,
abusers,
predators like this and abusers like this, there is always an emotional component. So this is domestic violence as well that she's going through. He's making her care more about his family, his position. She's supposed to think about all the things that he didn't care about when he was doing that. And because he knew he had kids then, he knew he had a family, reputation, etc., etc. But he's putting it on her to care about instead of him to say, "Look how much of my life you're going to destroy." And this is a self-esteem issue because she's looking at how important he is rather than how important what he's done to her is. And he knows she will minimize herself and care more about all the other people who are going to be impacted, because of course his family is going to be impacted, of course his children are going to be impacted, but she shouldn't care more about that than he did when he was doing it.
Exactly.
No, she absolutely
did. But she obviously has done so many times, or he wouldn't have felt that he could bring them up and say, "Well, look at this. Look what this will do to my family. Can you call them off? You have the power to stop this." And now he's saying she has power. It's shifting the power to say you are in power now, which she is in a lot of ways. But it's just important. It's unfortunate because like this happens so often, and there's always a long amount of people who are victims of this until somebody make that perpetrator face the consequences for their actions, and they will continue to be abusers until they are forced to have the consequences that they deserve to have. And sometimes that needs to be happening repeatedly because they're repeat offenders.
Right.
So there is a documentary called Quiet on the Set that was just released about like SA and abuse in the industry. So the producer of that said they are going to work on a docu-series regarding Diddy's sex trafficking and racketeering charges, and the alleged victims will be interviewed. So basically, they're probably going to do it like Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And I don't like this though, because this is like saying, how can we monetize the situation? And a lot of people who probably are advocating for him to go behind, is probably their motivation is more because of the monetary gain that they can get from it, which is like, I get it's a double-edged sword in a way, because it does bring light to the situation, and it does help other people who have gone through this to normalize it in a sense, to say that you should and you can have a voice even if you are abused and are participate in
but
some
also
activity.
stigmatized.
Well, stigmatized It's very much stigmatized, but the more people talk about it and the more people see that it is something that impacts a lot of people, that stigma is less stigmatized. So for that reason, I think great, but I also don't like the fact that it's like, well, we only, and I won't say only, but let's see how much money we can get out of this. It's
Oh,
exploitative.
of course, of course.
And I don't like that.
They're still making money off of OJ Simpson, even though he's dead and gone now. So they are going to continue to run up the tab on this. But there's some other things that I wanted to go over. I was trying to look at something. There's something I got to pull out my email. But so this is Linda Luna. She is a publicist for one of Diddy's sons. I forgot which one it is. Christian Cohen. Okay.
There you have the nickname Christian.
So she said, this Diddy controversy is truly so unfortunate. I work with his son Christian as his publicist in the music area, and I have worked with Justin too. And I've been around Diddy many times. I've been to his parties and after parties, and I've never seen what they are claiming. But I do feel like maybe he was trying to change over the past years, but it seems like it was too late, and his past transgressions have come to light. And now he has to face the consequences.
And I'm pretty sure all of his parties weren't Freakniks. So she probably went to some of his regular parties instead of his Freaknik parties, or whoever he or she is. But it's like every party that he have isn't going to be a ball buster orgy. And it's like, what are you talking about? Obviously, he has to have some for the media, because he can't be a lavish, luxurious, rich man without parties that people can actually see.
I just don't like when they come out here and they say, oh, well, I didn't see anything.
Exactly.
So it couldn't have happened.
Yeah, they're trying to undermine these people. The reality is, it doesn't matter what you saw.
Right.
You are around Diddy 24/7. You likely haven't been to all of his parties. And if you have, then somebody is about to send you a subpoena. So get ready, because you obviously saw some stuff.
And you a liar.
Testify to in court. Right. The reality is, the FBI said they watched the videos that they recovered from his home. He recorded everything, so it doesn't matter what
times it's like I'm trying to understand how stupid you have to be. Like, this dude is very intelligent, or at least he's business savvy. Maybe he's extremely emotional, obviously, or he wouldn't be beating the brakes off of people on camera. But how dumb do you have to be to have videos circulating of you beating women in hotels, a whole bunch of people coming forward saying that you've done all these horrible things, and then you have the evidence against yourself in your house? Like, that's not going to get graded.
Nope.
Like,
how dumb? That's when you have been doing this for a very long time, getting away with it for a very long time, and
you just believe that you're unstoppable.
I don't like that, because that's what happens when you are very comfortable in your criminal activity, because you get away with it. You think you have enough money and enough status and enough people to manipulate, because you've done it so often. I want to speak to what Cynthia was saying, because she's so right. Like, what this woman is trying to do is undermine the other people. And even if she's not trying to, when you come on and say, well, I'm going to, because maybe she thinks she's not undermining, but she's speaking up for, or being a character witness for, because that's often when you find their friends and people who know them say, well, I'm going to be a character witness because I can't see, I would never have known this. And you always have people come and say, oh, he would have never done this. I can never imagine this. Even when you have the shooters say that, when you have the narcissists who say that, when you have the DV people who kill their whole families, there's always someone who say they would never know this. But this man is someone who's literally had these, like, his music videos, his lyrics are literally very much to what he says he's going to do. If you look at the people he hung around with, like and with R. Kelly and all that, this is literally his life song. So why are we pretending that this is so far-fetched that when it's something that he himself say he does, like, and show imagery of doing. Like, this is, how is it that we're so confused? It's insulting, but it's just really upsetting when you have people come out and say, oh, I've been around it many a times, like, you're really, so we're supposed to
I've been
base,
to his parties.
yeah, like, so we're gonna ignore all this evidence and base it,
Right.
we're gonna say, well, she's been his party. Okay, never mind that, because she's
No,
been
she
in his
must
party.
be Jesus. She must
Well, look
must
at
be
look at
Jesus,
what
and
she
everything
said
else is a
next.
lie.
Now that you bring up Jesus, look at what she said next. But let's remember, no one is limited to God's grace and mercy. So hopefully he will find redemption within that. And if it's God's will, he'll get another chance to make it right and redeem himself with those that have been affected by him. But even if not, hopefully his consequences will serve as a proactive example and change in this industry, especially towards women, because there are a lot of powerful men in this industry that I have witnessed do worse, if not the same as the allegations in this case.
Really?
How are you a
That's what I'm
publicist
saying.
and you got, listen, there ain't enough punctuation here. This is a hodgepodge of run-on sentences, lady, but you somebody's publicist?
Right.
Check
She
my
said
head.
so
She
anyway.
needs to be in court to talk about these events of all these people that she's witnessed do more than what he was alleged to have done, because it's like, okay, then sounds like we need to have a line of people up in jail for
and
this
it
stuff.
sounds like she was over here obstructing justice because she knew crimes were being committed and she just haven't reported them. She sat on them, and now she's using her knowledge of crimes to sit up here and defend a criminal. If I was anybody's, I would say bring her ass in too. I would look at her, I would say, go get her and bring her ass in here and let her explain how many of these people she saw engaging in criminal behavior. And I want her to explain why she ain't brought that to nobody's attention.
Right. Because isn't it accessory when you don't report a crime that you witnessed?
Yes, your people don't understand they are required to report crimes that they have committed. But she said they witnessed being committed. But she said so anyway. God bless him and the family and the victims, as they deserve justice for whatever is truth and all. This, and may God have mercy on all people casting stones or judgmental opinions.
Oh, wow.
This is giving an idiotic black male worshiper. That's what it's giving. She did make a response, but they snatched it down off of Instagram. I had two different links with her response, and it was removed off of Instagram. I don't know why.
She probably need to have a job.
She probably removed it herself.
Well, no, these sites, like I think the Shade Room had it on there, the Neighborhood Talk had it on there, and they removed it because when I pulled the links, it said this is not available anymore. So it was removed off of here. I don't know why. But so this person saying run-on sentences as a publicist is insane. Bring back people who went to school for these titles. She says, so you said you've never seen any of these things, but you know he's been trying to change. So if she did, I want to know if she didn't see him doing any of these things, how does she know there are celebrities who's done worse?
Right.
Because you didn't see him do anything. So you don't know. Are you talking about the allegations?
Yeah, she said that she's seen people do worse than all of the allegations that he has allegedly partaken in. So yeah, she said the allegations. She wasn't talking about the stuff that she had seen him do. She said she's seen people do stuff that he has been accused of doing.
Worse, far worse. She getting dragged though.
And she should be.
These people are dragging her in this comment section. The comments go on and on and on. Like the Hollywood Unlocked did they due diligence with these comments because they are going in on this lady. I'm not gonna read all of them because we don't have time, but I want y'all to see how many people came on here and just start dragging this lady, because the reality is you can tell she is trying to undermine what has been said about him. And she can do that as much as she wants to. But at the end of the day, the publicist does not control whether Diddy gets convicted or tried in court or anything. And he's already been charged. He has a trial coming up. So it doesn't really matter what the publicists say that she's seen. The FBI saw the videos, they saw the 800 dildos, they saw the over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and KY jelly. They don't think this is a situation of Diddy just being nasty or freaky or taking a vacation, which is what Faison Love said in response to the trafficking. How is flying bitches out for pussy? How is that sex trafficking that's taking a vacation?
Now, when you
This is their mentality.
Because I think they're confused about the fact they think that just women decided to fly out there and go to a orgy with him, but that wasn't the thing. Like, these women probably had him fly out there to have a party, and then he decided to rape them and beat them and do all kinds of horrible acts toward them and force other people to do them with them as well. So the trafficking part is when he was forcing them to do sexual acts with people that they did not want to do.
Yeah,
So
and
if
he was
that
taking
wasn't
them,
involved, right? So
he was transporting them over state lines. So he was getting them out of other states, flying them into different states so that they can have sex with multiple people against their will, under the influence of drugs, while he records it. Because this is a woman who's in porn, and she's actually making a good point when she says orgies aren't for normies. We don't need IVs in porn. So after Diddy would have his sex marathons, he would require the people to get IV treatments because they would be depleted of all of their fluids. They would be like completely dehydrated. They would basically be sick because he would be drugging them, and his orgies would last continuous for days, where people would be administering drugs to these people. They will be, like the FBI said in these videos, there are several underage girls who are passed out while other men are rotating, come in and having sex with them.
Yeah.
And they're passed out.
Sure, exactly. So that is very clearly illegal. But you can imagine that a lot of that is people are paying for those activities as well.
Yeah, exactly. They're paying for the experience to do this to these people, to victimize these people. But then I'm happy that they got all those videos, and just like when Epstein, they had all these videos with all these people that were being trafficked to all these people, but they never brought in a single person that they were being trafficked to. Like,
so Jacqueline, the IV isn't just for hydration, it's also for vitamin replenishments, electrolytes, and everything that's being extracted from your body from days of having drugs pumped in you. IV treatments aren't just for hydration. I've had IV treatments. You can have vitamins put through IV treatments. You can have a number of different things with IV treatments. You can best believe that he didn't just have IV, he didn't throw him a bottle of water for rehydrating them. I'm pretty sure he did hydrate them through IV, but it's probably for their vitamin replenishment, too, electrolytes, everything that will be depleted from their body. But I want to hear what this woman says here, because there is a lot of people commenting on this, and this is an interesting perspective for people who are in the porn industry. Even though obviously it's consensual business, similar things are happening to what was to what Diddy was alleged to have done, except in porn, they are consenting adults. They all know what's happening. So let's listen to what she says.
I honestly think that was more to do with intoxication than the actual sex acts, and we're not allowed to do anything like drugs or anything on set. So not that I won't, allegedly there had drugs at this party. No, but I think I have been in a situation though where people get overheated and they sweat so much, especially guys, because guys tend to get a lot hotter and sweatier, and they have to take a break and drink a lot of water. And I have been in situations where somebody has almost fainted before. And that's like a serious situation, but it's more because you have to turn the air conditioning off while you're doing the scene, so it doesn't make noise during the sex scene, so they have to turn it off. So it's really hot in there a lot of times. And of course, when bodies start going, I mean, I don't know how many people were in this. I mean, I was in an orgy once and I was pretty exhausted, but it was 3 or 4 in the morning and we've been going for 12 hours. So yeah, not sex the whole time. We had other things to film too, but there were snakes too at one point. Not in the orgy. They were adjacent.
She's weird.
They were
She's
adjacent.
hella weird.
I honestly think that was more to do with intoxication than the actual sex acts, and we're not allowed to like do anything like. drugs.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the dehydration and the vitamin deficiency and depletion is going to mostly be caused by the drugs, but let's not act like that. A lot of body fluids likely ain't being exhausted too, which will cause you to deplete your hydration level. But he's just disgusting. He really is.
That is disgusting because she's talking about in porn, and porn people are literally acting as sex machines. So she's talking about 12-hour shifts, and that's not a normal. Even if you're talking about like people do their picnic parties, for somebody, a person's body to be in sexual activity for so long that it warrants IV treatment of any kind is extremely excessive. And so again, this is her, she's, a sex worker. This is her job, her performance. This is what she does for a living. I don't think Cassidy and all the other people who were just going to these parties are being forced to go, or being however they're going. I don't think that they had in their minds that we're going to need IV treatments, after this event. Doubtful.
Yeah, I'm here's my thing. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, these women, they knew what they were getting themselves into. Like there was some bandit on Instagram, and I hope this person responded, because I asked them, how do they know whether or not these women weren't held against their will? Because it's like, if you're going to make a comment on Instagram saying that those women weren't held against their will, then I need to know if you were there or not. Because if you weren't...
Did we not see on video a woman trying to leave and get the brakes to just be clearly off of her, stomped and kicked and thrown things at and dragged back to the vicinity by her hair, but these women weren't held by against their will? Like what?
Yep.
What?
Don Richard says he locked her in a car for hours, wouldn't let her out. Her daddy had to drive, I think, from, I forgot from where, but he had to drive somewhere to get her out of the car that Diddy had her locked in. And so obviously he had the habit of holding people against their will. It just is what it is. But so Cassie's friend, Tiffany Red, and she had been speaking out on this too. She came out and before Diddy was arrested and corroborated a lot of what Cassie said. She said she witnessed it. So she came out and spoke as well on him being arrested. And she said, today I feel a little safer knowing Sean Combs is behind bars. I'm grateful to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and Homeland Security for stepping in and showing Mr. Combs and the music industry, which enabled him, that they're not above the law. This past year has been incredibly stressful and terrifying at times, but I am grateful for the opportunity to free myself from all of these dark experiences. While co-creating Cassie's sophomore album, I was degraded by Sean Combs, deceived by him, his team, and the record labels about the music being released. I was exposed to Diddy's abuse of Cassie and others in her circle, and I unknowingly consumed something laced without my consent at his Humbly Hills home studio while writing for Cassie back in 2017. I'll never forget screaming, what's in this? I knew instantly after smoking the joint that something was wrong. I got away that night by the grace of God, but I am haunted by the things I can't remember about that evening. No one should have to endure this kind of trauma to pursue success in the music industry. We all deserve better. Tiffany Red. Listen. I'm not about to listen to all of this. She said she's been receiving a lot of threats. She's forwarding them to law enforcement. Speaking of enabling, there was a video that was put out, an interview by Gene Deal, who was his former bodyguard, and he came out and he made a statement about who was enabling Diddy. So let me put this up and we'll listen to it now, actually. So the Jasmine brand posted this, so let's listen to it.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this
right there.
situation that,
Bars.
when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentor him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he can get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that's, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, he had a house, he had a man that bikini draws in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bro, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say allegedly. I saw that for my own self. My man was with me. Slick was with me. And we saw that for our own self. You
For our
understand
own
what I'm saying?
self.
So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster.
First and
That's what
second.
he did, bro.
Because he keeps saying, and it's about it, he keeps saying that he learned this, and it
Right,
was
he's
mentored
defending
him.
him.
And I understand that he remember you learn things, you see things, but you do what you want to do.
Exactly.
And then he is someone who's shown that he's competitive as well. So he probably saw this and he wanted to do it and do it bigger, because you can see something and say that's not the right thing to do, and I know that's right, and I don't. It's not for me. He saw it and he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it bigger. And he said, "This is for me." It's like you learn things and you decide within yourself what's good for you, what's something that aligns with your morale and your values, or is too much for you. This is something that he may have. You can learn a lot of stuff, right? You can be exposed to a lot of things, but if you don't want to do it, you're not doing it. So,
Right.
The reality is, because you're true and correct, it does come off as defending. And who did we listen to? Oh yeah, Charlemagne the other day was sitting up saying that the issue is that Diddy didn't have anybody around to tell him no and basically pull him aside and let him know that what he was doing is wrong. So a lot of people do have a lot of different things that they're saying. I've even heard somebody say, oh, Clive Davis groomed Diddy and that's why he act like this. No, because there was an investigation done into Diddy's background and they say he been acting like this since high school, which predates him being around Andre Harrell. It predates him being around Clive Davis. So no, this is just who Diddy is. And it's like we live in a Black community where literally these bandits are wreaking havoc nonstop, doing everything. And yet when we hear about a Diddy, mind you, we all know rumors was out long before he got arrested. For at least a near 20-year period, there were rumors out about Diddy's reign of terrorism. Like everybody was talking about it. Now all of a sudden it ain't Diddy's fault and he just was groomed and these people enabled him. No, Diddy is over half of 100. He knows very well the difference between right and wrong, and he been knowing the difference between right and wrong. That's why he was going around trying to cover his tracks, pay people off, intimidate witnesses, toe tag people, make people disappear, and do everything he can to cover his crimes. You wouldn't try to hide your crimes if you don't know what you're doing is wrong. And that's why a lot of people end up getting caught up. As I'm watching Fatal Attraction, I'm noticing how when it comes to law and order and crime and defenses, Black people don't know anything. Like, you will have a bandit who done stabbed a person 20 times and they sitting up telling the police that they was defending themselves. It's not self-defense when you stabbing somebody 20 times.
Right.
That's not self-defense. That's called a crime of passion. You did it on purpose. Like, you're not defending yourself. So people, you're not going to say that Diddy didn't know that what he was doing is wrong, but he's trying to cover his tracks. You didn't know it was wrong. That's why you were trying to hide it. And I've seen people in interviews try to make that statement too. Oh, I didn't know that this was wrong, or they'll try to plead insanity, but they were trying to cover up their crime. You knew it was wrong if you were trying to cover it up.
But also, look, he was privy to what happened with R. Kelly as well. So if there's any situation where, he didn't know that it was the wrong thing to do, he had a great example that happened with R. Kelly and how that legal case went. So he knew, like, he can say parallel, okay, he was, doing some sex trafficking, I'm doing sex trafficking. He is going to jail, I might be at risk of going to jail. So he could have, like, saw that that's the wrong thing to do if he didn't know it. But what I think is interesting is this, because when I said that, when you're exposed to something and you see that it's wrong and you won't do it if it's not something that you want to do. And there's a little, there's some truth in that, but there's a caveat, right? So with some of these women, there are some motivations for why they would participate in going to a party with Diddy that Diddy won't be susceptible to. And one of those is money and influence. So Diddy is someone who has a lot of money, so he can actually explore different hobbies if he wasn't interested in the one that he decided to go about, like with sex parties. He has the money to explore other interests. He's not someone who's financially he's not low income, so finances can't be a motivator to go and have these parties. Like, some people will go, women will go to these parties because there's money in it for them, or that they want status, or they're entering their career and they need to who's are there. He is the who's who. He is the one with the money. So he's not one who's going attracted to these activities because he has no money, he has no status, he needs to make something of himself. These are interests of his that he's putting money to. He knows the risk. He just someone who's gotten away with it a lot. He knows what he's doing. He may have been exposed to it by other people, sure, but that exposure let him know what the crime was. That exposure let him know what the consequences could be. Those exposures let him know how he could get away with it too. And so he looked at
the effects that it had on people. And most importantly, it let him know the effects that it had on people. And that's why he was using blackmail and violence towards these people to intimidate them, because he knew the effects that it would have on people. He knew how he was victimizing people. He knew that he was traumatizing people. He did not care. That was his intent. He did that so that he can get his way, because he's a person that only cared about how things affected him. He didn't care that he was traumatizing people, or that he was harming people, or that he was breaking faces and noses and busting heads and backs, and okay, he did show one act of care with the IVs. With the IV. No, but that could have only been so these people. Care.
Ella, I will push back on that, and I'll tell you why. Because when I heard about the IVs, I thought, well, why would he do that? Because and I'll tell you why. Because if you have a mass amount of people who need IVs, that means that's potential for people to go to hospital.
That's what I said. If you would have let me finish, I would have said that.
About their health. That's caring about whether he gets
right. So, like I said, if you would have let me finish, I would have clarified. It would have. See, when I started off, I said that he was doing things for himself, and then I said that appeared to be an act of care. However, if these people all needed IVs, obviously they're not going to be able to show up to a party again, for one. he might have a ring of dead bodies for two leaving his I know I wasn't supposed to say, but he might have a ring of people that were unalived leaving his party, which is also obviously gonna draw more attention to himself. So literally everything that he does is for himself. And the thing is, most of those people, I bet you, they were forced IV injections. Like, he probably even forced them to do that as well. He was controlling the situation from every aspect to make sure that he was okay and that he was getting what he wanted out of the situation and not really caring about how it was affecting anyone else.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh, go
He
ahead and
probably
finish.
also, I was just gonna say, yeah, they probably didn't have to consent because they probably were too out of it too. But and this was something that I
Right.
learned. But because the reality is, you don't just bring in IVs for treatment for people. That's a learned thing. That's like, this person is out, so we need to act fast. What can we do? Get some IVs in here. So that was probably a learned lesson. I think needed to do that. And I'm sure that Diddy himself just going to give an IVs. He's probably outsourced that,
Right.
even for these parties. But I forgot my full thought. But yeah, go ahead, take it away, Cynthia.
Well, this is the reality of it. Diddy didn't have any sympathy for his victims. In fact, the reason he recorded them is so that he can get off to the pain and the discomfort and the trauma that his victims were experiencing. I really do believe that Diddy is a sexual sadist. And I don't think that he can even become aroused unless he's causing harm to another person sexually.
I agree.
And I'll say it again. I really hope the FBI brings a criminal profiler in on this situation and that they run down the whole profile of Diddy. I guarantee you they're going to say he's a sexual sadist. It just is what it is. Everything that he's doing is it is common with those type people. And the reason they set it up the way they do is because, again, they have to be harming people in order to get off.
Right.
Regular sex is not going to do anything for Diddy. That's why he's doing these freak offs and he drugging people and they don't know that they're being drugged, and he recording them and watching them remotely, because it sounds like with some of these freak offs, he ain't even in the room participating. He's
Right.
somewhere watching them remote on his cell phone, watching other people be violated and harmed sexually and getting off to it on his own. So let's listen to this sex worker here. It says a 2018 interrogation video shows male porn star telling investigators that Diddy would allegedly watch him have sex with Cassie. Also makes claims about Rick Ross and DJ Khaled's sexuality. He was a sex slave. Let's get into it.
Which they good buddies, okay? They're gay. Both Diddy and Ross and China, they all gay.
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and Diddy,
Yeah.
they're all gay?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's a Hamas supporter. Okay,
Who supporter?
Hamas,
Hamas. Yeah.
sorry to say that.
No.
Hamas supporter.
Sorry.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I was, how do you know this?
You know Jim Combs?
Update,
Yeah,
Diddy, whatever you call it, so,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, he's part of what's called the Boulay. The Boulay is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
I had
A branch
sex
of
with
Illuminati?
Yeah, he said Diddy the part of the Boulay, the Black Boulay, which is a branch of the Illuminati. We heard a lot about the Black Boulay. A lot of people were saying Obama was a part of it, which being MLK was obviously a part of it. He was sitting up in a picture with the Rothschild. So the bottom line is a lot of these high profile people are a part of it. But that's what he's accusing him of being the part of the Boulay. And it ain't just Diddy who that was said about. It's a lot of them that are supposed to be in it.
Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do for Cassie. I had like 15 encounters and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on TV with speaker and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and seen for herpes and warned. But they didn't. Mark was the Mercedes, were his attorney, okay? And Christopher Leox here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave a batching accident.
See, they said they asked him to turn in a video recording, and he did. He turned in the video recording to corroborate what he was saying.
Right.
Which if anybody didn't hear it, they put it here. And this is what he said. He said, I had sex with Cassie and Sean. He said he would masturbate and tell me what to do to Cassie. I was like a sex slave. That's what that's what he said in that little part. Because I know it is a little bit difficult to kind of hear this dude.
Yeah.
This is an old video. But that's essentially what he's saying.
And it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy. Yeah, sure. It's possible, I'm not sure. We say good buddies, okay? They're gay. Both. Lady and Ross and China, they all gay. DJ Khaled, Rick Ross.
Yeah, he's saying DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and Diddy are all gay. That's what he's saying. They all
I
of them
believe
are.
it. I believe it. I believe
Well,
a lot of men.
That Damian Williams, he said they got videos where Diddy is on there having sex with men.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they outed him in the press conference. Basically, they confirmed that yes, the trial really does need to be televised. I'm with her because I will watch every day of that trial, just like I did with
You're
the
not
Mike
the
Tyson
only
trial.
one. I mean, that will be the most watched thing. If anyone, do you think that's going to be televised? That'll be amazing. But
Yeah, I hope so. Michael Jackson's trial was televised.
Farrell says she's going to New York to go to the trial and see if she can actually be in there.
Yeah, I actually wanted to too. I know they do it by ticket. So this video emerged again because Dawn Richard, she filed a lawsuit. Remember Danity Kane, one of the black chicks that was in a group, Dawn Richard, she filed a lawsuit too. And she talked about how herself and Kalina, a rapper, when they made the group Diddy Dirty Money after they disbanded Danity Kane, Dawn went and worked with Diddy in Diddy Dirty Money alongside Kalina. That was their group. So Dawn put her lawsuit out. The U.S. attorney said that Diddy had called Kalina 54 times before she responded to Dawn's lawsuit. And then Kalina came out and said, oh, basically she said Dawn is lying. That's Dawn's account. But now we know that Kalina is saying that because Diddy done called her 54 times. And in one of those 54 conversations, he told this woman to lie.
Right.
But in that lawsuit, Dawn said there was a situation where they were at a restaurant. Neo, Usher, and somebody else was there. And they witnessed Diddy punch Cassie in the stomach and they did nothing. He did it in front of them. So now this is resurfacing because if y'all in the comment section, if y'all don't remember when we talked about this situation with Neo and one of his baby mamas trying to expose his abuse, which I told her Neo is a psychopath, so he ain't gonna let you slip up and record him doing this. But in this video, she's also implicating Neo in Diddy's freak offs. So let's listen.
Doing drugs, drinking alcohol, fucking these hoes. That's what you care about. So let's go. I'm a Diddy bop the fuck up out of here. You and your freak off. You can get back to your freak off in a minute. You'll be next. You'll be next. You'll be next. You'll be next. Your stories are coming out next. He gonna say my tell him about the freak off, Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr.
Tell him Diddy Jr.
Tell them about the freak off. Tell them the truth. Tell these people the truth. Oh, she'll
He'd be like, I would be beating your face in right
Yeah,
now if I wasn't live on whatever.
All you care about is doing drugs, drinking alcohol, fucking these hoes. That's what you care about. So let's go. I'm a Diddy bop the fuck up out of here. You and your freak off. You can get back to your freak off in a minute. You'll be next. You'll be next.
So we know Diddy go be, if we know Neo about to get his subpoena. Just go
Right.
ahead, Neo, call your
I mean, they
attorney.
should
'Cause
subpoena her too, because obviously she knows something.
yeah, she obviously knows he goes to the freak offs, obviously.
And
Clear.
she's probably been there a couple times too, because he's not coming back sharing her about the freak offs. He's not coming back telling her the information. So she's like, oh yeah, that's
Well,
cool.
that's
You're
one
doing
of
that.
his baby. That's one of his baby mamas. He might. I don't know. But you're right. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead
I
and
think she needs to go to the freak offs with him.
yeah, because I don't really know. So they
No, I'm
are
not
now.
saying she went with him, but I'm saying she's been to one.
Yeah, and she might have. I think J-Lo probably been to one too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So y'all know J-Lo, J-Lo getting her subpoena too. So is Mary J. Blige. You getting yours too. Lorianne Gibson, you was the choreographer. You and Diddy was always going back and forth. You coming up in this courtroom too. She going in there too. But anyway, so they asked Method Man
Why is he dressed like
about
a baby?
Diddy's, huh?
Why is he dressed like a baby?
I don't know. Method Man, y'all know I'm gonna tread lightly on saying anything bad about Method Man because y'all know I've been loving me some Method Man
Me too. Like the crush was real.
That was them.
like don't because he just got something with him. It's something about his energy that's very like masculine and attractive and like alpha. He does. He gives his energy gives alpha.
But not like the nasty slimy type alpha.
Yeah, not the nasty slimy type. I don't know what this is.
But that's why I'm confused because like that's not like what is he doing? He doesn't
wearing a crochet bonnet.
Right.
Let's see.
And some overalls. Oh, is that a backpack? Are those overalls or is that a backpack and a tight t-shirt?
I think that's a backpack. I don't even know what Method Man got on right here. I really don't know, but
anyway.
Method Man have a twin brother. This could be his twin brother. I watched something with him and his brother in it, and they were so this might be.
Ivy must be hella young, talking about she ain't never heard of him.
Who?
Ivy Mercedes.
Oh, Ivy, you've never heard of Method Man? Yeah, you have to be a baby. Oh, Ivy must really be a baby.
She must be.
Well, no, I've been on that team for a very long time, so I haven't like it's been like
the end of hip hop.
Oh, okay. Let me I thought one of y'all were trying to say something. I didn't want to cut y'all off, but let me rewind it really quickly. So y'all can hear the question that she asked again. I already, based on the question and the context of this, I think I'm gonna disagree with Method Man here, but let's
can't hear him. Let's see what he's saying.
And that this is like the end of hip hop as we know it. You know, so I'm just asking your opinion on that. Do you agree with that statement? Do you feel like, some people being shown in different lights, is that ruining the way you're gonna see hip hop going forward or as a culture?
I don't think that it has anything to do with hip hop. What are we talking about here, really? Like,
Well,
as far as
I mean, I don't wanna like just go straight to it, but like everything with Diddy, people are saying it's kind of the end of
has
hip hop
nothing to
at
do
that
with hip
era.
hop.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with hip hop.
I agree. I would say that too.
I don't.
If we're talking about creative and music and stuff like that, there's people still listening to R. Kelly. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that, but I don't think it has anything to do with hip hop.
So what, Dana, this is like the end of hip hop.
So now let me say something. I believe this has everything to do with hip hop. I think hip hop is simply the soundtrack to Black men's degenerate culture. And hip hop is literally the promotion of sexual violence, drugging women, taking advantage of women, killing Black men, harming women, everything that Diddy was doing. So I don't see how this wouldn't be a hip hop.
That's true, but that's not what hip hop was originated to be. And that's not how, like, a lot of it. I mean, there's Christian hip hop, there's all kinds of different genres of hip hop.
So Christian hip hop, it came after regular hip hop. So it's just a little sect of it.
Right, but this nasty version of hip hop isn't the original hip hop.
No, let's not get into Christian hip hop. Lecrae was over there at Diddy's, hanging out with Diddy too. So no, Christian
but maybe
hip
he
hop
was at one of those parties where that chick was at, where she didn't see no depraved actions.
Because Lecrae was sitting up, a Christian rapper, talking about how he's gone to Diddy parties. So the reality is, this can't not have anything to do with hip hop. When number one, hip hop is a creation by Black men. Black men said their hip hop is art imitating life. The stuff that they talk about in hip hop is literally what they do all day, every day. So I don't see how this is not hip hop when hip hop is based on Black culture and Black experiences and what happens in the Black community. And what happens in the Black community is Black men are actually toe tagging Black men. So they are extremely violent. They do exploit Black women. They do pump drugs into their community. They do kill each other. They do, wasn't Rick Ross rapping about putting GHB in women's drinks when they don't know it? So they constantly talk about drugging women against their will, running trains on women, trafficking women. That's all they talk about in hip hop. So I don't agree with Method Man like this. I think all of this sexual degeneracy that's come out is actually exposing hip hop and Black male culture, which is one and the same.
It's definitely exposing the way hip hop has become, because that's not how it originated, and I don't think that's what it's meant to be.
It did originate like this in the 1980s.
Hip hop didn't come out in the
talking
80s.
about bitches ain't nothing but tricks and hoes.
No, that was in
Like
the 90s.
if you go
That
over
was
the
in the 90s.
timeline of hip hop, disrespect of women has been rooted in hip hop. Promoting the killing of Black men has been rooted in hip hop. I don't understand how that's not.
Allegedly, a Black woman created hip hop. Let me Google so I can see who, but allegedly a Black woman created hip hop, and it was back in the 60s. So yeah, it did turn into something horrible, but originally it didn't start off that way. It was like more uplifting and trying to get
well, part of it was uplifting, but hip hop and rap was never 100% positive.
Nothing is ever 100% positive.
But there were some people out who did make who had like some conscious tones to their music, but they were still talking about bitching they hoes, nothing but hoes and tricks, and running through women and killing other Black men and putting drugs in their community. They've been talking about.
As far as since you were alive, definitely as far back as you can remember, that's what it is. Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
As far back as I remember, and based on watching documentaries, when they talk about the beginning of hip hop, it just seems like this promotion of violence and sexual degeneracy has always been a part of hip hop, because I know in the day, there were people trying to get NWA and other groups from like the 80s. They were trying to get them out of hip hop, writing letters talking about how disrespectful it was to Black women. There are since hip hop has come out, almost, it has been challenged for its misogyny, its promotion of violence, its promotion of drug culture. So everything that is rapped about, even including in Method Man's music, is a reflection of hip hop. The show that Method Man is starring in now is a reflection of hip hop. 50 Cent produced it. 50 Cent is a rapper. Everything that goes on there, the drug dealing, sexual exploitation, violence. I don't see how it wouldn't. I don't see how it would have nothing to do with hip hop.
It's an end to hip hop. I just think when she said it's an end to hip hop, I think he's just saying, yeah, no, that's maybe an end to him, but hip hop isn't going anywhere. You know, it might be an end to Diddy, but hip hop isn't going anywhere.
Well, a lot of people are saying this is, Hollywood collapsing on itself. It's saying that basically rap is over because, this is basically like the reckoning for hip hop. And I do agree to an extent. I do actually agree that it is going. See, this I can't do these ads. Like, I don't like the Daily Mail for this. The only reason why I pull up a Daily Mail article is like I don't want to see. I don't want this ad.
We're not seeing it, so.
Well, because it's messing up the reason I don't want it is because it's messing up my theme. But what I'm about to show is that there was Kim Porter's diary. They're basically saying that somebody released Kim Porter's diary, and in it, she's making some explosive allegations about Diddy. There has always been rumors and allegations that Kim Porter was making a tell-all book about Diddy, and a lot of people are saying that's the reason why.
Wait, what's that table with the ropes on it on that ad? What is that?
Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of these ads because I can't read this article. This is annoying. Like I don't want these ads on here. Like you literally cannot read the article because of the
What is
ads.
that,
all over the
though?
place. Huh?
That table with those ropes on it. What is that for?
Oh, it's an ad. It was an ad.
For
An
what though? I
Amazon ad.
wonder. They
Yeah,
like,
so
you like Diddy? Here's some select sex slave tools.
no, that was an ad for some stuff on Amazon, but it says a new book accuses Sean Diddy Combs of assaulting his late girlfriend, taping himself having sex with a male teenage pop star. Ooh, that better
Usher.
not be Justin Bieber
Oh, it could be.
or Usher,
Yeah.
because that's what it's given.
Well, that's assuming that they're the only ones. Actually, there's a lot of male pop stars that actually accused Diddy of doing things.
Yeah, and it says, and sex parties with an Oscar winner and his wife. The 60-page book, Kim's Lost Words, claims to be a collection of the diaries of Kim Porter, the mother of 3 of his children who died of pneumonia in 2018, leaked by her friends. It
She died of
describes
pneumonia.
Combs' colorful love life from the 1900s through the 1990s through Porter's final year, including alleged philandering with both male and female top musicians and rappers, and debauched orgy at his home in which Porter took part. Of course she did. The book was published on September 6th, just days before the rapper and Bad Boy Records founder was indicted for racketeering and sex trafficking by federal prosecutors in New York. Where do you get this book from?
Right. Is it on Amazon?
I looked for it on Amazon. I didn't see it.
You said it's called Kim's Unspoken Words.
Yeah, let's see. Kim's Lost Words.
Lost Words. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, because I want to get that book. Apparently, a lot of people were looking for it.
Yeah.
It's not on Amazon though. It's definitely not on Amazon. So I don't know where you buy it.
Is it by Kim
Oh, they
Porter?
said they put hard copies on sale, up for sale on Amazon, but it's not on there. We just looked. It's not on Amazon.
Lost Words, The Journey of Justice. I see it. For $22.49.
Yeah, I was just
I'll
on
send it
here.
to you. I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah, can I put Kim's Lost Words?
I'm sending it in the Sister Talk chat. It's 20. Well, this is paperback, but it's $22.49 on Amazon, and that's at 10% off.
Yeah, that's weird how I don't see it on here on Amazon.
Well, because I just Googled, I didn't put Amazon, I just Googled that, and then it comes up.
Let me see what will come up for me.
Whoa. I was being attacked by my
Oh yeah, I see it too. Now when you Google it, yeah.
yeah.
A Journey for Justice. Yeah, I'm about to get it now. Let me add that to cart.
And it's only 60 pages?
Yeah, they said it's 60 pages. Yep, and I'm about to buy that stat. It says the short memoir has disturbing alleged accounts of Diddy slapping Porter after losing his temper and even making death threats to her. In the book, Porter recounts discovering and making copies of tapes Diddy made of himself having sex with young boys he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, are we gonna act like this ain't Justin Bieber?
Well, Justin Bieber actually made a song. He's recently about him being molested by Diddy.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting this book.
He has a music video about it. I forgot what it was. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm gonna get this book, and soon as it come, we rereading this book. Y'all know we about to read this book. Y'all know that we are reading this book. We definitely are. As soon as I get my hands on that copy, either that day or the following morning, we talking about it. It says it should be here Monday, September 23rd. Okay, so the final entry of the memoir has Porter falling fatefully ill, dramatically texting her friends, "He got me," and then calling 911. The book's Los Angeles-based producer Chris Todd claims Porter shared a thumb drive of her writing with close friends, which he obtained and likely edited into a book under the pseudonym Jamal T. Millwood.
Mm.
What? Where is my part that I was on? See, I hate this. Oh, okay. The book is marked as being printed in Las Vegas on September 7th, 2024.
Wow.
Todd has not offered any documentary evidence to prove its authenticity, but put hard copies up for sale on Amazon. I was lucky enough to meet someone that purported to have Kim Porter's flash drive, he told dailymail.com. I know the celebrity source pretty well. I know how close they were to Kim and Diddy and all the people in the hip hop community. This was supposedly for Kim Porter's from the grave to come forward and tell her story. Todd said he did not originally want to put his name on the book for security reasons. This is a dangerous situation, and I didn't want to claim ownership of Kim's words, but now I'm willing to come forward because of the recent arrest of Sean Combs. Now the federal government has finally acted.
In jail.
Yep.
Like, he's afraid of only him. If he's so powerful, obviously he has other people that can come after him while he's in jail. So why would he just be like, oh, okay, now that he can't get me, I can go forward?
So it says details of some of the scandals alleged in the book have already been reported. Diddy allegedly took out a gun and started shooting at a nightclub in 1999, then made a rapper on his label Shine take the fall for him. Combs and then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were arrested over the incident, but only Shine was charged, though rumors of Combs' responsibility has swirled ever since. Other incidents have been flat out denied by the alleged participants, including star-studded orgies. He hosted parties that were just a fancy name of orgies, and everyone wanted in, the Porter memoir claimed. We not only had threesomes, but we also swapped partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean I would never have been able to do with a straight man. She said she was sleeping with a well-known married woman. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with a shark-topping rapper and the woman's husband.
Mm-hmm.
I was grateful I wasn't asked to join in that room, Porter allegedly wrote, saying she didn't really like the rapper. Porter allegedly wrote that she and Diddy had an open relationship and that she regularly slept with legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. The Porter memoir claims Combs first hit her after she refused to use the strap-on on him. I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time, please, Diddy said, according to the book. I became infuriated, the book said, adding that Porter told Diddy to instead have sex with a male music executive she believed he was having an affair with. Then Sean hit me. This was the first time, but he slapped me hard. Before I could form words, he began to beg. I'm sorry. Holding my cheek where he hit me, I turned and ran off. That should have been it, but I guess I was a glutton for punishment. The book describes another alleged incident at Porter's apartment. He fiercely slammed me to the ground. Then he pulled out the .22 handgun and set it on the end table. He knelt on one knee and got right in my face to say, "You're mine. You don't have a choice in that. I can't live without you." He's a terrifying monster. So, he's a terrifying monster that you stayed with and left your kids with after having kids with him. It
He
says,
left her-
but the memoir said that when she watched back the tapes, she was shocked. Some of the tapes had things I would have never expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys, like two hip hop stars formerly managed by Diddy, and the then 18-year-old pop star, I would have never known. The book's publisher claims the friends of Porter and Diddy who gave him the memoir also had copies of the music mogul's alleged sex tapes. He claimed listen, I'm not gonna read all this because it's really long. It just ain't gonna happen. When I get the book, I'm gonna read it. But the reality of it is that eventually, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some of what's on those tapes because the FBI said they got them. And really, the FBI kind of confirmed some of the stuff because they said there are videos with Diddy in there having sex with young males and young girls and males in general. So some of the stuff has already been corroborated by what's the name? Some of the stuff has already been corroborated, but when I get my hand on that book, y'all, we gonna read it.
Right.
But that's all I have for Diddy. And so I really wanted to talk about this situation right here, though, because now, even in election time, and obviously, as you see, it said North Carolina governor candidate Mark Robinson put on blast for allegedly posting lewd comments on pornographic website and referring to himself as a Black Nazi. So as we're in this political election, there's a lot of people who, and even before we got into it, but there's a lot of people who constantly scream out, oh, we just need more Black politicians, if we can just get more Black people in politics. What benefit does it serve for a man like this to be in politics?
I'm trying to understand what he means by a Black Nazi. Like, is he saying that he is Black and he is being the Nazi?
Yeah, he's against Black people.
For Black people rather than a Black person that is a Nazi for, just like the Nazis regularly was. Like, is he saying that he is the Black version, like where he's going hard for Black people and he doesn't think that anybody else should exist? Or is he saying that he is a Black person that is for the white people and doesn't think any more Black people should exist? Like, what does that mean exactly to him?
I'm not sure, but let's read this and see if it says it. Conservative Republican nominee for governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson, is being accused of making outrageous remarks on a pornographic message board nearly a decade ago. In the forum, he was allegedly letting his wild side out and reportedly referred to himself as a Black Nazi. In documents obtained by CNN, they are claiming the username Mini Soldier was frequently used by Robinson's claims. They also matched his email address used for the site and allegedly linked it to multiple other accounts he had used in the past. CNN claims Robinson's lewd comments were allegedly made on a pornographic website named Nude Africa that includes the message boards for users to chat in. The source claims the profile from Mini Soldier contained Robinson's full name as well. Report states many of the comments on the website contradicted many of Robinson's political stances on issues like transgender rights and abortion. In the forum, Robinson stated he allegedly enjoyed seeing TRANNY on woman porn because it takes the man out while leaving the man in. Robinson allegedly also detailed he's not going to get elected in North Carolina. I can assure you that. Just based on this right here, he ain't gonna get elected in North Carolina.
I mean, based it on the porn part, they tend to be it's in the Bible out. North Carolina is Bible out.
This right here is what's going to not get him elected. That word
really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, conservatives ain't for this, and really neither is North Carolina. They not for this there. I mean, yeah, they can usually sway Democratic or conservative. North Carolina ain't for this. So he likely ain't gonna get at all.
Yeah.
Robinson allegedly also detailed incidents where he was a peeping Tom when he was a 14-year-old boy spying on women at a local gym. CNN reached out to Robinson in regards to the comment made on the forum, and he denied the allegation, stating, "This is not us. I'm not going to get into the minutia of how somebody manufactured these salacious tabloid lies." Bandits are degenerate. So at the end of the day, I believe that this bandit was doing all of the above. You a lying ass bitch, you was doing it. And now you getting caught.
Right. No,
you
but
was definitely
he's
doing it.
probably a high value man that deserves a Christian submissive virgin that is 21 that will cook and clean and stay at home and be 50-50. So
The reality is this man is a Christian. If he's a conservative, he's a Christian. If he's living in the South as a conservative, he is a Christian. Yet here you have a Christian politician sitting up here calling himself a black Nazi. So this is a man who wants to be a governor in a position of power where he possesses a whole lot of disdain for himself and for people who look like him. But I've already said that these bandits are white supremacists and people just still don't want to believe it.
right.
So I'll say it again. These are white supremacists just as much as the people of no color are white supremacists, the ones who are. He's one too. He doesn't have to be white to be a white supremacist. When you're running around calling yourself a black Nazi, you are a white supremacist. So that is what he is. And I'm not going to sit here and say we need to have a black man in office just to have a black person when they carry in the mentality of a black man. Why do you as a black woman think that will be a good situation for you? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not anyone that you want to have in charge of anything. Not even a bunny. He'd probably have it raped by a tranny.
Yeah, no, because what he's gonna do is he would weaponize that situation against black people because he a black Nazi. He said he is. He said he is. So the only thing he would do is weaponize whatever power that he has over the black community that he obviously hates. Do we need to say he probably laid up with a throwback somewhere?
Oh, for sure. Like he wants to be racist so bad that he's gonna apply for office so he can be racist against black people because he knows that he doesn't have any power as a regular black man. So he has to go run for office so he can actually have some power to be racist toward black people. And he's gonna create some laws if he can, and he's gonna power up some police officers and make sure they're all extremely racist and have to take racist tests to make sure that they're gonna be what am I trying to I can't think of the word, but yeah, I don't trust that he's going to do anything good for the community, for the black community at all. And I'm putting that out there because the South is not for black people anyway. I mean, there's a lot of black people there, but the laws and stuff that they have there are not catering to the needs of the black community. So yeah, I'm very glad that it's been put out that he is definitely for the other side.
So there's another person who had another allegation because I'm about to wrap this up because we've been on here for 2 hours already. I can't even believe that Chinese zoo. Shame on y'all for painting some dogs black and white and calling them panda bears. That's so trifling. That's like trifling and ghetto as I don't know what. Like, how tacky are you?
That's hilarious. What was she saying?
She came out. It says Diddy's arrest has a woman come forward and accuse Sage the Gemini of SA. She didn't just implicate him, she implicated Chris Brown too. So there's a whole bunch of Chris Brown apologists who are always defending some of Chris Brown's degeneracy, talking about he changed when he didn't, and Chris Brown ain't said one time that he changed. So
no, he didn't. He just said, "Look at me now."
Onto this man. So let's see what she has to say.
They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, there's so many more men out there, just like Diddy, who are abusers, who use their fame to lure women in and abuse them. And I wanted to come on here to say that it is time to out every single abuser in the industry, every single one. They all need to be held accountable.
I
And
agree.
the thing is, I would be a hypocrite if I came on here and I was telling other women that they need to speak up if I'm unwilling to speak up. I was raped at Chris Brown's house by his friend, Sage the Gemini. Yes, I know, I should have never been at Chris Brown's house in the first place. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now, as of today. And I should have never been there. But
See,
Sage-
that's so scandalous to say that she shouldn't have never been there. Like, why should she not be able to go to a party? Why should you not be able to go to somewhere and just
look,
be safe? We just have
look
to
at-
blame the women. Oh, you should have chose better. You should be, what do you had no business being there to begin with? What? Why? Because there should be horrible people out there that's going around raping people because they're at their house? Like, what do you mean I should have been there?
Look at this black male worshiper talking about, girl, leave Chris Brown out of this.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling y'all, these degenerate, like these degenerate black male worshipers, look, the math ain't mathin'. So which one happened first? If either one of you got graved, why the other go back? These are women saying this one. I don't know how women allow men to make them this damn dumb. I don't get it, but something ain't right.
I feel like there's something in these chemtrails.
There's something somewhere.
So,
raped my friend. They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, when she was underage. She was under the influence and she was 16 years old. These are on two different occasions. But the thing is,
they
all
say she
these
shouldn't
men,
have
all
been
these
there.
abusers, they hang out together. Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. Why have I been afraid to come out all this time? You want to know? It's because right after Sage raped me, he had me sign a paper saying that everything that happened was consensual. And he was my Uber drive. He got me the Uber to Chris Brown's house. And I didn't have any money. And I needed him to get me the ride back. And like I didn't know if
So I want to read what she put on here. I didn't know he would react to me being upset about what he did. I was afraid he wouldn't get me the ride home. If it was so jarring how he had someone bring out the paper right after. What happened between us was not consensual.
Right.
I didn't know what was gonna happen when she was underage. If I, in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe that I don't really know how to talk about this.
Right.
I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. And I think that we all of us, if I, in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe that I don't really know how to talk about this. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. And I think that we all of us, if I, in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe that I don't.
Are you gonna let it play again for the third time?
No. So I wanted to pull something up. So
Okay.
yeah, I was pulling something up because Sage the Gemini came out and responded, and I'll show it in a minute. But just for anybody who is trying to cast doubt on this, in 2018, actually 6 years ago, there was an lawsuit that a woman filed saying that she was raped in Chris Brown's home.
Right.
Here's the article. Here, you see let me put the screen down so y'all can see this article here. Y'all see this article here
No,
with Chris Brown
we see
on the
you,
screen?
sweetie.
You don't see me
No.
on my phone?
Yeah, the words are too bright. We can't see it.
Okay,
But we
so
can-
now you should be able to see it. It's a Chris
Yeah.
Brown. You should see it. You don't
Yeah.
see the words on there?
Really.
Yeah, I
So
can't
this
see
is
the
the
words.
article.
The one who says she's with his partner.
Yep. So let me read the article. The R&B singer Chris Brown is being sued by a woman who alleges that she was imprisoned in his home and raped by his friend. The woman, who is anonymized as Jane Doe in court documents, alleged that she was imprisoned and repeatedly sexually assaulted as part of a conspiracy led by Brown and two of his associates to use drugs, alcohol, threats, and the presence of guns to coerce women to perform sexual acts. She also alleged that the men conspired to imprison women in a bedroom in Chris's home, barricaded the doors, and separated them from their cell phones. Doe is being represented by Gloria Allred, who said on Thursday, "This is one of the most horrific cases involving alleged sexual assault that I have ever seen, and our client J. Doe has been severely traumatized by what she was forced to suffer." At the time, Chris Brown was being represented by Mark Garagos, the one who represented Michael Jackson. His daughter is representing Diddy right now. That Mark Garagos, whose daughter is now Diddy's attorney, he represented Chris Brown in his lawsuit. So, I mean, the reality is they can say this one woman is lying. Black male worshipers can get in the comment section and say all they want to. But in 2018, there was a lawsuit filed by a woman saying exactly what this woman on TikTok is saying, except for outright saying Sage the Gemini. So it's like, the reality is, if this woman is saying this in 2024, and we can pull up an article in 2018 where Chris Brown was sued for these allegations, I don't know what happened to the lawsuit. I'm pretty sure I could find out. But the reality is, I don't think she's lying.
So Chris Brown trying to be baby Diddy. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have some of those little parties too.
She said these allegations about Chris Brown have been out there for a long time. They were. We just read the article. Look at this one. It was already being proven about what happened at the 2016 house party. That lady lied. All the receipts were shown in court. This is in 2018, though.
Yeah, I think
this is not in 2016.
Well, I think what you're saying is when guys get power and money, they don't feel like that they have to abide by common decency, any respect, any boundaries that they have. It's kind of like what Donald Trump was teaching people. Like, if you got money and celebrity, there's a mindset that you can get away with these things. And for a long time, they do get away with them until the right person says you gotta have a consequence. And I'm pretty sure other people say you got a consequence, but then they'll be able to pay them off or convince them to one way, either emotionally or coercion or whatever the case may be. But this is what you're saying. When you have money and celebrity, if you have corruption in terms of your morale, you're going to use your money to be more corrupt and power influence.
Yeah, and they will. And that's essentially what happened. It happened with Diddy. It happened with Chris Brown. It happened with Bill Cosby. It happened with R. Kelly. Because the reality is that's what their mindset is. They start thinking they're untouchable and they start wielding their power or their celebrity influence as a weapon against women. But he said, I'm turning shit off. LOL. Only people she not lying to is the police because they don't give out careers. Hashtag find a new hustle. When I rupture my patellar tendon, I called emergency services the same day. So then she came back and said, why don't you show everyone the document you made me sign to prove what happened was consensual at Sage the Gemini? Do you still have it? So the bottom line is she's standing 10 toes down on what she's saying.
Exactly.
Now, I can't say for sure that this 2018 case is her, but I know this person is talking about a 2016 incident. That has to be separate because in here, it says she was here at his house in 2017. So whatever happened in 2016 is a different situation.
Right.
This took place in 2017. A lawsuit was filed in 2018. So they can say cloud chasing is crazy, should have been said something to the cops. This is insane. Hold on. B is calling me.
That was important. So,
Still sound dodgy on the audio.
yeah, it's a little borgy. It sounds like you're like
Okay, let me see if I can fix it.
honey, if you could have fixed it like 3 hours later.
Look, I just want to reassure people that I'm doing
I have to
it.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is kind of a mini emergency situation. So, hold on for a second. Let me jump on here on my thing so I can keep y'all on after I cut off the live stream.
Okay.
And I'll tell y'all what it's about. Just give me 1 second. Cause I gotta let me
Say the most recent drama, but there's always
so
good drama.
sorry you guys, I have to go attend to something. So I'm about to jump off of here right now because I actually really do gotta go. That was all we had to go over anyway. And so I will see y'all on Monday. If that book comes in the morning or if it just happened to come early, then on Monday we will be reading over it. But if not, then we'll read over it Tuesday. So I will see y'all later. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
Hang on for 1 second. Let me just
Yeah, you're still a little bit live.
I know I need to end this really quickly and then I need to put myself on it. So okay, so I ended it on YouTube.